Hi there, traders, and welcome. So we're just getting towards the end of the Asian session on the Monday, and we're just coming into Europe. It's nice and early before the European session open. I'm just going to run through some trades for you. It was on the Dow from Friday night for the strategy. So we'll run through firstly the strategy ones, which was on the Dow, nothing on the DAX, and we had two. So we had the Friday one on the Hang Seng, which worked out fine, and then we had today on the Hang Seng. So I'll just walk through today's one anyway. And then we'll just go through some other trades from the Asian session and what we actually saw playing out and how I actually traded it. Okay, so we'll start off with this is the Dow. So we're just looking at the action really from Friday night. I'm not too interested in today. I want to see how Europe goes for the DAX, and then we'll get into the US session later on. So starting, we have the open. So this is the 12:30 open of the futures market. So that's when we really start to look at the index there, and then we had later on it was about here when the actual index opened. So that's the underlying index we're interested in. So you can see the market was holding, 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 and pressing higher, and it made new highs just prior to the open of the index. And normally I would probably leave that, like you'll see in a second, just on the DAX. Normally I would leave that when it's making new highs. I'd like to see something where you've got a couple of levels and it's touched a few times and then hasn't gone through. But sometimes it is really worthwhile because you can feel a strong market. You can see when it's strong. And when you get this kind of spike down on the open and it start to hold, okay, I'm in, because we're only going for 10 points. Don't forget, we're going for a one-to-one trade. We know it's a high probability setup, and that's what we're concerned with. And you can see that pretty much worked out nicely. That was about a 15-point spike, which is all we need to get our 10 points. So that was the 5-minute trading day open, and that worked out fine on that. On the Dow, and then later on, I did do some trading on this later on. I didn't actually trade. I think I traded that short and didn't hold on for too long, and then had another one there which I didn't actually trade. But then I saw this pattern here. I was still shorting it. I was chopping around a bit, shorting it. Had a couple of longs, so really a couple of scratch trades, nothing trades, one small loss, and then I come out the other end when you see this kind of pattern. And what we've said in many videos before, we want to go on the shoulder, we call it. Okay, we want to go with the flow of the market. The flow's down. You can start to see that it's pausing. Okay, fine. I was shorting it a bit. I was still trying to go with the flow of the market, run into a bit of a level there where it stopped, bounced off, stopped again. So once you see that a couple of times, we call that the RTF. You want to forget about going short and you want to start to look for when these traders that are selling are going to get squeezed out. And that was a nice little high low, jumped in long there and rode that up, only up to about here. Okay, so it left a bit on the table, but that was still probably about an 80, 90-point trade, which is quite nice. All right, so you can see there was probably a few more trades later on, but it was a bit cleaner. That for me is a bit cleaner than this kind of action. And even in here was actually really nice too. To be honest, if we look at that one there, that zone in there, beautiful. Okay, so that's all we're ever looking for. We want to see when traders are getting caught, when they're going to start to jump in, when who's going to get squeezed out, and we want to just basically, it's going with momentum, it's going with the flow. Okay, over to the DAX now. So this was the DAX open. Just show you that. That was the open here. All right, so we had 6 o'clock. Index opens at 7, so we've got this action to look at, and you can see that was the actual opening spike, and it was the same sort of thing, sort of what I was saying on the Dow before, except the difference is it made a low here, took out the low by a few points, come back out, and it looked like it was going to just take it out the prior bar. So I'm not too confident when you've got low there. We want enough stops below so it's going to trigger an entry for us and sell short. But at the moment, once you've got this low here, takes out the stops, bounces back, and then you just look at it. I just did not want to trade short on that one for the opening strategy anyway. And it was later on when it started panning out to the downside. And look, you could have gone short in here, but for the strategy, for the reasoning behind it and why we're taking the trade, it just didn't work out for me on the DAX. That's okay. So we had a win later on the Dow, and let's get over to the Hang Seng. So this is actually from today. Like I said, Friday was a winning day, 30 points on the Hang Seng. And today it opened up, and you can see the market's opened up here, popped up, built a higher level here, started to go up, took out this high, and this is the opening candle we're looking at. Okay, at 12:30. That's all we're worried about. So you've only got 15 minutes here, as opposed to the DAX and the Dow. 15 minutes, spiked up. I didn't go long in there because I didn't like that either. I didn't like the way the momentum's actually down. It popped up. I just left that one, let it go. I was more interested in this level because I think buyers built it up. Buyers, it's come down. They haven't been put under pressure. It started to go again. Some more buyers. So you know that the weight of action is on the buy side. Okay, they bought it up. A little bit of flush. That's probably dragged in a few more buyers that bought it on that break up there, expecting the big move up. They were turned around and squeezed out. That was enough to drive it down. The entry was just below this level, and then you grab the 30 points with the break of this low of the day. So you could have taken a low through here, and it still worked out anyway. You can see break there, 36 points. So that was 48 points down to there. So no problem with that either. I just like this inside level. Worked great for me and gave me another 30 points. So today we've got one from one. We'll have the DAX come in later on for the 5-minute trading day, and then the Dow in the evening, which we'll walk through as well. So for trades for today, on this I actually shorted it in here. This is I shorted it just about here, I think, and you can see the market roll over. You can see it was just toying with that. Tried to pop up. I think I was going to short it in here. Yeah, I was going to short it in here at the break, and it just turned around and reversed on me pretty quickly. And I'd rather see a lower high, but at that stage we've got these two highs, and it flushed down. I wasn't really interested. And we've got a lower high in here, which is lower than previous. Okay, that's fine with me. Jump in short. It pressed it down, but I didn't take much out of it. It kept the ground up and come back down again, so I was out about here. Okay, so nothing much on that. That was the Hang Seng. That was today. We'll look at the Aussie 200, which is the ASX 200 CFD, which is quite a good one. A bit harder to trade sometimes, but there's still a lot of opportunity when you're looking hard, and you know what you're looking for too. Okay, not necessarily looking hard, I shouldn't say that, but you know exactly what you're looking for when you want to get into a trade. So firstly, the market, this is where it's opened this morning. We sort of popped up. I like that. I like that kind of, what it's done. It did what the DAX has done. It did what the what's it called, the Hang Seng. It flushed up, and then we dropped. As soon as we flush up like that, and we take out this little level, okay, I'm happy to jump in short. And I think I was short in here, wrote it down to the low, took out, closed. I was all done. Okay, so it was only a few points on that, but it was at least a nice little trade to sink my teeth into to start off the day. And then I actually didn't trade this again after that. I was looking at this. This was probably a good little trade. You can see test. So you've got taken out this low through here, took that out, popped up, took it out only by a few points, and then reversed. Okay, that to me is a good little sign that you might want to think about being long instead of short. So maybe the shorts are going to get squeezed out of the market. And it was about here, which really could have been a nice trade. Okay, you can see that that's popped up, pulled back. That's our higher level. Take an entry with a little break at the top side, and you've got that little run up. Okay, so you can see that the more we're talking about these trades as we go forward, the more you'll see it's the same thing, rinsed and repeat, rinsed and repeat. Okay, we're looking for the same things over and over again, and it's just how traders getting trapped, which way is the momentum going, how do we go with momentum, and that sort of thing. Okay, so but confirmation is also a big thing for us. Confirmation for a trade, like that little high low, we know that we're lacking in selling pressure here. Starts to pop back up. The sellers couldn't get back down to this low. Okay, what's going to happen? Anyone that's sold through here is going to be in trouble. Okay, so we take the break. They're looking at the same thing as us. They're looking at going, uh-oh, I'm on the wrong side. We're on the right side. Up we go. Okay, so that was it. There wasn't really any more trades for me on that. Japan index, which is the Nikkei. Took this short. Yep, looking at that. So that was the open, and pressure down. It's popped up. I don't mind when it pops up, and when it starts to get pressured again, you've got a little, if you can see that, make that a bit bigger, little inside level there, which I think is really good. Take that off. Okay, little inside level there, little lower high. After all that, straight down again. So we're going with the flow. You can see the momentum's down. We're with the flow. We've got our risk in place. We know where we want to get in. We trade it on the way down. So I only took it into here. It did go a bit further, but then it started to chop around after that. Now, there was a few other good trades. You can see, don't mind that, a bit of a pop-up. I was looking at that there, and that's essentially, you've got your RTF, we call it, your double bottom, whatever you're going to do. We call it RTF, a retest fail, because it sort of encompasses a lot more than just a double bottom, double top, which you can get out of a book. And we like that. High low there, pops up. It didn't go too far, but then I think I was looking at it in here, but I just didn't trade that. But again, same situation. Fail, 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 pop down, comes up. So anyone that's been boarded up through here, you expect him to go through that high, goes sideways, rolls over, all done. Okay, look at and we looked at the Dow, we've done that. So, okay, that's it. That's all we really want to go through. So what we'll do later on, coming to the European session, just before 7 o'clock, probably about 6:30, if you want to jump on, and we'll talk through some levels. I'll put up some charts, and yeah, we'll just get ready for the open, and we'll see if we can get a nice little win off on the DAX for the 5-minute trading day, and then we'll see how the session's placed from there once it starts to open. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed, and we'll speak to you soon.